Hi, I'm Fiona. I'm the national organiser for the Marxist Student Federation in Britain, which is the youth wing of the British section of the International Marxist Tendency. And I think what we're experiencing at the moment in the world is a world crisis of capitalism, and we can see the effects of this in Brazil, but also in Britain. So, for example, in the last couple of days, actually, Boris Johnson has just been elected as the Prime Minister of Britain. And Boris Johnson is a vile racist. He's the sort of person who's nostalgic for the days of the British Empire. He wants Britain to rule the waves once again. He's a complete reactionary, and he's only been voted in by about 90,000 people in the country due to a Tory leadership election. So he doesn't have a mandate from the people at all. And not only is he a vile racist and reactionary, much like Trump, much like Bolsonaro and a lot of these figures, he's also fundamentally anti-working class. He's been very clear about the fact that he wants to implement austerity and implement tax cuts for the rich. So this is something that's going to only deepen the crisis of British capitalism that we're experiencing at the moment. And there's enormous levels of poverty and inequality in Britain. Millions of people are using food banks at the moment. So British capitalism is really in a dire state. And this is something that we, organise against in the Marxist Student Federation. We have different societies across universities in the UK to encourage students to get involved with the struggle by linking up with the working class as well, because we believe that students and the working class, once they come together, really do have the power to change society. And this is something that needs to be done on an international scale as well. I mentioned Trump, I mentioned Boris Johnson obviously, and even Bolsonaro. These figures are really the embodiment of the worst aspects of capitalist society: misogyny, racism, homophobia, all of these things, but they're not specific to them as individuals. I'd say that the capitalist system created the conditions for figures like Bolsonaro, Trump, or Boris Johnson to even get to power in the first place. And that is why it's the system, not the individuals, that as Marxists we talk about the need to fight against. We want to overthrow the entire capitalist system to see an end to all the horrors that it produces: poverty, war, imperialism, and to capitalism as an international system. So its overthrow has to be international as well, which is why we have a whole international organisation, and the comrades in Brazil, in Liberdade, Luta, I know are organising students with the working class as well, but particularly on the universities, to organise students in the fight back against Bolsonaro. And there was a huge general strike just a couple of weeks ago, which shows the potential and shows the balance of forces in society, that we can get rid of these figures, but not just the figures, the entire system as well. So I invite you, and I invite everyone to join in this struggle if you're serious about putting an end to the horrors of capitalism. If you're serious about that, we have to organise and join us in this fight. Fora Bolsonaro!